Hello.
Hello.
Wow. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, Harrison.
Hello.
This is the NgoVo Convo podcast.
Yes.
I'm Veronica, and I'm joined by Harrison. He's over there.
Hello, it's me.
He's over there. I'm shaming him. This is where I start shaming him. Because we both just want an excuse to talk about anything that entertains us. But really, we're trying to clean up this never-ending backlog, which we are doing today.
This is kind of backlog.
Yeah. For you, Harrison. Because some would say it's two people conversing.
Like NgoVo Convo, NgoVo Convo.
I was like,
I was trying to mess around this one.
This is on purpose. But you can watch every episode on YouTube or listen to it as a podcast by searching NgoVo Convo on your podcast service of choice. And this video is sponsored by Olipop, but more on that later. And in this episode, we're actually going to be pivoting a little bit, going into Star Wars, talking about Andor Season 2. So you haven't finished that, the series. This is basically the series finale. It's like the end. We'll talk about more on that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's 12 episodes. It's pretty unique. I think I talked about this in one of our episodes a while back, kind of snuck it in, but every 3 episodes is like a time skip.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was interesting. Yeah. But yeah, go watch on Disney Plus. And then come back. And don't take a month like Harrison.
It's
time to shame him. It's time to shame him. Everyone, let me just... It's been a month.
I'm gonna be the guy that says, hey, at least I'm not those people that was like, hey, I don't like this. I just wanted to binge it. And then other things came out. And then I was kind of busy, kind of.
You know what he told me? And I'm pretty sure it was in our last episodes or last 2 episodes. He was like, I think I got it on record, but he was like, yeah, I'll watch Andor and, finish it when the last 3 episodes come out. And then he goes on vacation, and then he guhosts me, and then he tells me, no, he doesn't. He didn't ghost me. But then I'm being dramatic. And then it took him, an extra two full weeks to get here.
Had to mentally get back into the game,
Yeah. So
Like,
this is
literally.
my part of shaming. But we're back. But Harrison, your initial thoughts.
My initial thoughts is I wish I knew they had the recap.
Ah.
Did you see that? I did not know they had a season 1 recap.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't.
But it was a separate thing.
It was
it was kind of what was it? It was built in the behind the scenes or first look or something.
It's grouped with those, but it's not even so, and I'm only saying this because I saw it last night. I saw it pop up. I'm like, dude, that would have been so nice for me to actually watch. Did you watch it or did you?
I did, and it helped.
It helped, right? Because I think it took me half the season. I will say it took me. So that's my first thing I will say is if you're gonna watch season 2, it's been 5 years at this point. I think.
Yeah, something like that.
A few years since season 1. And I remembered people, but I couldn't remember their involvement in certain things. Or I vaguely had an idea, and I'm like, but is this the same dude? Is it So that is my first recommendation.
Was fall of 2022. It's been a couple years. 3 years.
Okay, 3 years, yeah.
Which think actually lines up because was 6.
That's what it was. Okay, yes. Yeah. That's what it was. So it's just been a few years at this point where I'm just like, memory was kind of hazy, but otherwise really good. I thought I know some people, I can see some people complain about pacing for season 2.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Because it does at times, it just feels like they linger on issues, but it's wrapped up well by the end.
I was going to say it does wrap up pretty well by the time you get to episode 11, 12.
Yeah. I think the last 3 is just more like, oh, look, they're tying up loose ends in the last 3.
Yeah.
Which is the last quarter of the season.
And then you know what I did after season 2? I watched Rogue
Did you
One.
watch? I've been debating on it just to do it.
And you should, because that's just a full.
Just leads right in. Right? Does it lead right into it? Does it feel like
basically,
it?
yeah.
Okay.
It does feel like it.
That's cool.
It's a full circle.
That's cool. But your thoughts overall?
I thoroughly enjoy this. I agree with the pacing, but I think for me, I watched this like live, like weekly. 3 episodes are dropping like a week. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I've never seen like anyone do like a time skip like this. I think it works for Star Wars though. Or like a time skip where it's like, oh, every few episodes it's like, oh yeah, I was thinking about Arcane too, yeah.
But it's not common. But it is not. But
it's not common. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying it's been done like once recently. That's it though. But I thought it was really cool because it was just like this is where people got really confused of like. It was fun to see people be like, oh, why is it BBY? Like, before Battle of Yavin. Like, why specifically, right? But it's big. It's a big event. Like,
it is a big event.
I think it's big enough to make sense, but people were kind of curious.
Yeah. And you are right about the rewatching the recap, because episode 1 was 1 year after season 1.
Yes.
So if it's been 3 years already, so I can see why everyone's like, what happened in season 1?
Yeah, like it was just like, okay, why? Like, let's say, I couldn't remember why certain people were in certain spots, or if there was a reason, right? Like, let's say that, okay, are they like Cassian's? I'm being vague right now, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's like Cassian's here, someone's here.
Yeah,
like, you know, it's like, yeah. But overall, though, I think the pacing though still matches the vibe that even season 1 had. It was still thrillery, like in a sense of like it's espionage, like
very political
thriller, like all that stuff. Like you see like the pacing and like the themes and all, everything's there, right?
It was a nice build up,
and it was still refreshing to see everything seen from like a different perspective. That's not just the Jedi and then Sith lightsabers. Like it's actually seeing the everything happening after. You could see like the Senate's still a thing. I think that was like the coolest thing to think about. Is like the Senate's still a thing. You see all like the tensions building up.
Yeah,
so.
It was basically like the rich versus the poor. You could just totally tell. In a couple episodes. Yeah.
So.
No, I agree. And you know, musically, the soundtrack was great. I mean, it's Star Wars. Like you can't hate on that.
Music's good. Can't complain. And I think even seeing like certain aspects, like what's his name, the robot, the K series, I forgot what it was.
Oh yeah, the big robot guy.
Yeah, by the end it's just seeing like it's just seeing like how they incorporate certain people in, right? I have one big question at the end, but we'll talk. That's spoilers.
Oh, it's spoilers. But before we get into spoilers, we're going to take a quick break to talk about our sponsors. This episode is sponsored by Olipop, the soda your gut will thank you for. Yes, I'm talking to you. All of you. All right. Have you ever missed that classic soda pop feeling? You know, the fizz, the flavor, but without the sugar crash. And the guilt trip. Yeah, me too. You too, Harrison too. All of us. That's why I'm introducing to you Olipop, the soda that's bursting with flavor and good for you too. I actually have my favorite one here, strawberry vanilla. But the other weird one that I enjoyed was banana cream. I know, it's weird, super weird, but this is my favorite. Number 1, because it only has 3 grams of sugar per can, plus it has 9 grams of prebiotic fiber. And you know what you need with fiber? To use the restroom. Hee. But yeah, that means that you're going to have a happy and healthy gut with every sip. And it looks like that they took everything we loved about classic soda and upgraded to a modern, healthy conscience person. Like you, like me, like Harrison. My co-partner. My co-host. That's not here right now. So ditch the compromise and experience the soda revolution for yourself. Don't forget to use our promo code NgoVo15, NgoVo15 to get 15% off your first order on drinkolipop.com. And we're back. Wow. Quick water break. Water. Olipop. But let's get into spoilers.
Yeah.
Because Harrison has a quick question.
Well,
what's your big question?
Are we going to jump to it? Because that's at the end.
Is it the end?
Yeah.
No, we'll just go in order.
Oh, wait. Yes or no? Wait, what?
No. We'll wait.
Okay, yeah.
We'll wait.
That's fine.
I'll anticipate it for the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like waiting for you to watch the first couple episodes because there was like an almost like rape scene. And I was sitting there and I was like, no. Disney Plus. Disney would not do that.
It's so funny because it's funny in a sense, not the scene. The funny part that happened for me was you were talking about how there's a scene that I should, like, there's a thing, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I think on Reddit, I essentially kind of got spoiled.
You kind of got spoiled, right?
But I didn't know what the context was. They're like, oh, there's a rape scene. And I'm like, wait, in Disney?
Yeah.
And I think the one meme I saw was like someone saying like, oh, Disney when something about like probably lore wise and all that. Oh, ew, who would do that? Like the Drake thing is like, no.
Mm-hmm.
But then Disney Plus, oh, possible rape scene? Then it's like, oh.
I think I saw that one. I was like,
it's like, maybe. I was like, oh, really? And I was like, when did we get HBO put here?
I know.
I was like, oh. But no, it was, but I think it's just solidified. And it was funny because it was funny in that I'm like, oh, it must be that guy. And then so the entire time we're like, I'm just sitting there throughout the episode. Because he was in
it for like a couple episodes, like
yeah.
popping in and out. And I was just like,
checking
this is
in.
weird.
I was like, this guy's kind of sus. I think
so
it's
weird.
him.
I know.
And then he slammed his head against the table and died. And I was like, oh, there we go.
Man, that corner was sharp.
Yeah. I was
that
like, I saw the impact. I was like, oh, that guy dead.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, good. Yeah. But Bix, I love her. She has a lot of like trauma related anyway, like pre that situation.
I forgot that she had that whole like the mind thing going, like with but she got revenge on that too, so that's nice.
No, that was like perfect. That was the best way to like round her trauma.
So, didn't Jin and Cassian have like not an actual thing, but like a connection in the movie?
In the movie, yes. And I think I read on Reddit and the rewatch, like, it looks like that, but I think by the time the end, you watch like the whole movie, like you can tell like he can't go any further. But I think it's just because the actors have great chemistry. I think that's another issue, I think.
Yeah.
But people were, I remember people were so upset when they didn't kiss or they didn't like do more than the hug by the end of Rogue One movie.
I mean,
but this answers everything.
They're about to die. And it's just like at that point I think they're just looking for comfort. But that's a whole nother like
that's a whole nother another issue.
Another movie. No, I think it's just like the relationship was really cool. It was really cool to see. It's just fun to see more of Martha.
Yes.
Moth. I can never say her name correctly when I think about it. Yeah. Essentially centered on Mon, but like it was just cool seeing more of her backstory. But then I didn't expect to see a rave at some point.
You know, I think that was like her knowing like she just sold off her daughter. Like her life is like never going to be
because even it was that moment when she was just like, hey, I wish my mom told me. It was the whole wedding thing. It was like whole wedding drama and all that. And I forgot that was a thing from season 1.
Season 1, yeah.
Me, I was like, how did we get here again?
I could just see you like watching this and be like, I should message her where I am because
yeah. Because I was like, I know they made a deal, but what was this related to? Was it funding or something? Blah blah blah.
I mean, and the sad part is like her and her husband like were basically like an arranged marriage too.
Yeah, same thing, right?
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but I did enjoy seeing her side of things a lot more because it was like I mentioned, it was like you got to see how like the Senate politics happened after the rise of Palpatine.
The rise.
Because you could tell like it's not a full takeover yet.
No, it's like his foot was half in, half out situation.
I think he's like in the room already, but he's like in the back.
Yeah, and I mean, I get how they couldn't get the actor.
Yeah.
To be shown, just like how Darth Vader couldn't be shown.
Yeah,
Which, by the way, do you have any complaints about that?
No.
Not seeing either big villain?
Because so in my opinion, it still feels like that scale, like, of the scope, right? Here's the way I see it, is like, that's like big, like we've seen it in the movies. I think a cameo, I'm not saying that I don't want a cameo. I think a cameo would have been like, or at least like a silhouette or something would have been really cool. Like just,
or like a
even just Sidious,
maybe.
Right? Or a voiceover maybe.
Yeah.
But like Sidious, just show a glimpse of Sidious or a Palpatine at this point. Sure. I think that would have been cool, but I think it was fine because I think we got the gist of like, hey, there's political drama. You could tell that there's a division, or people are like, they're siding with the Emperor, but not fully. Like, it's not the Empire yet, fully. So, yeah. I wasn't too bummed about it because I think I got the idea. Because I think the cool parts about these stories is you get to see the other perspectives of what's going on in the galaxy far, far away.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I totally get it. And I think I'm on the same page as you. I think it was just like, oh, them. They're like back here, but like the minions are like out here doing all the work.
Yeah. Like
you're seeing the work being done.
We've seen, like, I think the allusion to the Death Star probably is like a lot already. Like, I think it's the funny thing where you're watching Rogue One and it's like, I wonder what's going to happen. It's the same. It's kind of the same thing here. So it's just, you're along for the ride for like how things are happening. What they go on. Because I think that's the same thing with the Clone Wars. It's the in between. If you watch the Clone Wars animated, it's the in between of 2 and 3, right?
Yeah.
So
it makes sense.
You get to just see more. So I think right now, this is really nice to just have more perspectives, get more. I guess get more backstory.
Speaking of Death Star, Deidre.
Okay.
How would you categorize her as a character?
Bro, I forgot that her and that dude had a relationship.
Yes.
Like, straight up, I just forgot. I don't know. It was a plot point.
She is a very interesting character.
Yes.
I think for me, it's like so interesting to see someone be so evil, but then they have like this, I don't even want to say like soft side, but like a compassionate side for someone that's on the same side. But then he just kind of like, what's his name? Zero? Yeah. But then he kind of like starts turning on her.
No,
as like the season progresses.
So I don't know about her character, but I love their plot line in the sense of it shows that within the Empire, they're still like ISB officers and all that. They are forced to. They're essentially given directives to do certain things, right? And it just shows that it's the easy. Not everyone in the Empire is bad, but they're still bad enough to do these things. Like, they're still trying to get promoted. This is like their job. This is like their life. They still believe doing these things is like great for the greater good at times. Which I believe Cyril is actually a very good example of, like, he thought he was just trying to do certain, like, he thought he was just trying to, protect this planet from rebel activity.
Yeah.
Just to find out, oh no, they're just mining for, they don't care. Like, which is the true evil.
And then Cassian not remembering him. That was a...
My question... No, I watched that and I'm like, did they see each other? I don't remember now.
In season 1, Cassian, I think, saw it was like a glimpse. But then, like, Cyril, like, saw his face and remembered it. So I think by season 2, obviously Cassian's not going to remember him. It was just kind of like a glimpse for him. Like another person.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought that was, like, legitimately a thing, though, in the sense of, like, Cassian would not know who this is, but Cyril, of course, would, because Cassian is, like, a high value target, technically, at this point, because they almost group him with Luthen, and, is Bix up there? I don't remember, but that's like, you know, like,
no,
Luthen's up there. Luthen's like that top target, right? But then Cassian is up there as well at that point.
There were so many memes when they were like, Cassian asking Cyril, who are you? And then dies. I was like, oh, okay. That's how we're going to do it.
Oh, like Cyril dying? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Cyril,
just like, oh, I actually thought that was, if you think of it in terms of like writing, it's like his whole thing is to help ISB and help Deidre, help do all this stuff. And it's like, this man essentially is like a big issue for us. But for him to just find out like, oh, Cassian doesn't even know who he is, it's like kind of like a low point. It's like, oh, just to die. And it's like, that's actually, it's like this whole buildup for his entire career just to Ben to be like, I don't even know who you are. It's like, what?
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm sure, and his mom probably knew what was like happening to him too, as they were like panning over to her.
I forgot what kind of woman she was in a sense. Like she was like that mom.
Crazy. Yeah.
I forgot until like that interaction with her and Deidre. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. This lady. I forgot.
This crazy lady.
But I actually enjoyed Cyril's like awakening in a sense, but he's still.
I think it was too late.
I'm glad, but no, I'm glad though. I was worried that they make him fully switch in a sense of, oh, here's Cassian, let me help him.
Like,
I thought that would have made it too weak. I thought that would have been like a very
I agree.
weak switch. So
that
him fighting him
like
at the end was
out.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a cop out.
But I think the wake up call with him and the what are they? Oh my god, I can't remember the planet. I forgot the Gorgons.
Gorgons. Yeah.
What is it called? Holy
Gorgons.
Gorgon.
Gorgon.
No. Not like
Gorgon.
this.
That sounds about right.
But anyway, like he lived there enough, and I enjoyed that he actually finally was like kind of feeling sympathetic, but it was too late, of course. But I think that's still a good. I like the arc with him.
Yeah.
When you asked me about Deidre, I'm like she wasn't really like, she felt like she was just like another antagonist, but it felt like Cyril was actually one of the main plot point. Not MC, like not main character, but you know, he's like a pivotal character. Ironically.
It's so funny to me.
I thought he was like more side, right? In season 1.
Yeah, he was more side. But then as you like progress into it, like you realize like he does have like a big impact.
Gorman. That's what it was.
We were close. I was like,
not Gorgon.
Gorgon?
Gorman.
Deidre, to me, I've seen like a couple of clips of like the actress in interviews, so it's just so funny to see her be Deidre. Because in her interviews, she's like, "Oh yeah, my mom used to tell me like not to pout like this and like not to frown like this," and then she was like, "Hey mom, go watch Andor and see what my face looks like."
That's actually so funny. That's really cool.
And then you know when Deidre was like being interrogated by that one guy, her boss or whatever.
Yeah.
You know the flick on the head? That was improv from the guy, the actor. And so she was telling the interviewer that she was trying so hard not to laugh because he actually like improv'd it and just kind of like did this.
Because it's what's his name? Isn't it Ben Mendelsohn or something like that?
I think so.
I just remember I think the funniest thing is that he's so in his character, he's just like so stern and like honestly like very good villain, like
villain vibes.
dramatic villain sometimes,
Yeah.
right? But he's also just dramatic outside in life too.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing. It's just like, he's so funny.
He wanted edits on TikTok with Slay as him like playing in Andor. He was like, I'm requesting some edits.
I think I've seen him talk about his cape.
It's
so
the cape.
good.
No, I think Deidre, it was just so ironic by the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Her being in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
another
like that vibe,
star.
like same prison vibe when Andor was in prison too. So I was like, ooh, that's crazy. Saul Guerrero was an interesting, like, quick, rebel, like, focal point.
Like focal point, yeah.
And I thought it was really cool that this season actually accentuated like how disjointed the rebel movement was, and it really shows that it was a movement. And I think that was also, again, this is where I think it was a really cool, like, plot point to focus on, in the sense of, hey, look, it wasn't just the rebels. It was like you had to build up to a certain point, and it's like, hey, look, Luthen was building up to that point, but it wasn't just done overnight. It had to be like taking years, and it would show time passing too.
I mean, all of Luthen's like twists and turns, it kind of like, I don't know, he was playing the rich people up very well.
So I was gonna ask, because you watched a recap, was everyone's hate towards him justified? I couldn't remember. Like, everyone was like, wow, screw this guy, I hate him so much, he's such a scummy person, blah blah blah.
I think so.
Okay, no, I'm just saying, I couldn't remember like what he did exactly. I know he did stuff, and you could tell he was just like very two-faced, but
definitely,
right. But I actually enjoyed, like, that's how in it he was.
Oh yeah.
But his
10
that
toes
backstory
on the floor, like, in it.
Yeah.
His assistant was just as like crazy.
Yeah.
That one scene where they were all in like the room and she had to take out like the tracking device.
That was so tense, and you could tell, like, the guy was like, "What are you doing? Oh my god!" Like, this is suicide. Crazy. But their backstory was actually really touching.
Did you enjoy it?
I thought it was touching. I thought it was like, it gave some depth on like why she would do stuff with him. Because at first I was like, is she just there? Like, is she just like that there, devoted? Yeah. But now, like, by the end, you're like, oh, father figure level. So
got abandoned. She just followed some random man, around.
Really twisted. Really, really messed up. But it was that, like, it was kind of like it did hit the feels at the end when she had to, like, you know, take him off life support at that point. Because it's true, like, it was one of those, like, if he was alive, then he could be tortured essentially by them.
Yeah. And it was so funny because all of security was like, oh, there's like 3 to 4 people like in on this.
She's just that efficient. I was like, damn, that's kind of badass.
And then like they watch the camera and it's just like, oh, it's just one person.
But too cool, honestly. So cool.
Honestly. Wait, what is your question? Are we getting close?
Yeah, so, okay. We touched on it for a little bit because, so relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Were you okay? Like, I'm only asking because I know there's some people that were like really upset that that's a thing. Like, so Bix and Cassian, all right?
Yes.
Did that bother you at all? Like, does that bother you?
Them being together?
Yeah.
No,
right? I've just seen some, like, and it's not that big of a group, but I could tell, like, some people are like, yeah, it seems like some, like, like, what's their relationship name? It's like Jin. It's like, oh, rip Jin, sucks for her. I was like, well, I think at that point though, it's like they're all about to die. But I think Cassian was. I think it kind of added like something to get grounded. Like, oh, he actually does
have someone.
It wasn't like he couldn't like anyone. It's like, oh yeah, Bix was like a big part. But then the baby, I did not see that coming.
Yes, I had a feeling. Like, I had, like, a sixth sense that was going to happen because it was, like, 7 or 8, she left because one of the healers was like, oh, Cassian's, like, vital to like the rebellion. And like Bix knew she had to just like, because she was in the way, because she kept, you know, having these nightmares and everything. And so that's why she left. And by the time that episode ended, I was like, she's also probably pregnant, because why would she just up and go and disappear?
See, this is probably my male brain was mailing too hard at that point, because I was like, oh, she just I just went to the point where it's, oh yeah, she just feels like she's in the way, she cares, blah blah. Okay, cool, yeah, she left. All right, that makes sense. I did not. I guess I just didn't expect them to like, because of how there's Rogue One. I guess I just didn't expect them to just be like, hey, he has a kid. I'm like, oh,
he has a kid, yeah.
Not saying it's bad. I'm like, wow, that's actually even more depressing.
But then it makes Rogue One ending so much sadder. Yeah. Because you know Cassian dies.
Yeah. And now knowing like, oh, they actually did have
that Bix is alive.
No, he knew. No, he knew that she's alive. There was a point when like the Senator Mothma was like cousin. They were talking cousin. And she's like, you should go see Bix. Yeah. Like they know she's there. That's true. But I don't think he knew that he has a kid.
No. I think she kept that from him for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Now imagine if that kid has Jedi powers.
Wow.
No.
Let's
no,
not.
That'd be so.
Disney Plus, don't listen to us.
That is, and I'm joking because I feel like that's such a new Star Wars thing that they would possibly pull.
They're like, yeah.
And I'm like, please don't. Please, dear God, no.
No.
Cassian was cool because he's Cassian. It's funny because I think Cassian was such like a character I didn't expect them to make a story about, but he was really cool in the movie, right?
Yeah.
But this is also me not knowing extended lore, if there's anything, and I think he's original, right?
I think he's an original. Yeah, he's an original character. Like nothing.
Like I didn't expect him to like do this.
He was literally like a side character in Rogue One.
Yeah, yeah. So, but still cool. I think all of this was
cool.
Overall, I think it was just nice to see like the rebel backstory even more so. Like that's why I liked Rogue One in the first place. I was like, oh look, this is the rebellion, blah blah blah.
What do you mean you don't like the trilogy that came before?
What are we talking about? Wait, are we talking about like the ending of Rogue One? Yeah, like Vader popping up? That's crazy. Yeah.
Harrison's like, we don't talk about the others.
As I go to Disneyland and I see all this stuff and I'm like, this is so cool.
And avoided watching Andor.
I joked with Veronica too, right before I was like, imagine if I see spoilers at Disneyland as we go through like the Star Wars area. I'm like, imagine they'd say something about like Cassian's like baby or something. I'd be like, what?
You're gonna be like, huh?
Oh man.
Did you like Andor? Do you like how it wrapped up?
I did. I love that we just got to see it build up to the point where it's essentially leading into the movie, which then leads into like 4, right?
Yeah.
So overall, I'm not saying you were wrong because I never said that it wasn't going to be good. Okay, I'm going to put it out there. I knew it was going to be good.
It just took you a while.
It just took a while too.
Yeah.
Because I knew the pacing was going to be a thing. It's actually, I will admit, I forgot that it was in chunks of 3.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
She's like, God damn it.
God damn it. Let me tell everyone, the last week, Harrison was like, I don't know if I'm done yet. And he's like, baby? Cassian has a baby? And I was like, oh, you're done. He's like, what? How do you know I'm done? And I was like, well, you're at the end.
I was just trying to mess with her at this point because I was like, imagine if we don't record on this, and imagine if I take another week.
Imagine me coming over there with my fist.
Rated E for everyone.
Exactly. But does this make you miss Star Wars? I know we are Star Wars fans.
It does, and it made me want to actually start watching like Bad Batch. Made me want to start watching like all this other stuff.
Right.
I don't know if it I guess we'll see if I'm still excited for like that Mandalorian stuff, like the movie.
Yeah, the movie that comes out next year.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see. I love this vibe so far. This is great. This is honestly really good.
If they can keep going like this.
But I don't know what else you could do.
But not live
prove
like
me wrong.
Andor.
But I don't know what else you could do. But prove me wrong. Give me more. I guess maybe more Saw Gerrera, but that's also you get some of that in the video games too, in the Fallen Order and all that. Yeah, you see him in there too.
Oh, cool.
Like all this stuff is like tied. So I think if I were to tell you now what I want more of, which is also kind of in the video game, I want to see how in movie levels, show me more focus on like the Jedis that like are hiding, but show format.
Show format.
That way, cool. Maybe you could just see someone traveling through. Because right now there's the Force Healer, and I think that was the most recent. Besides Ahsoka.
I was gonna say Ahsoka was
that too. You know what?
Was that too? Yeah.
But it just felt. I guess that felt more fan servicey in a sense of, oh look, you like Clone Wars, here's more of this. You like Rebels, more of this. You like
Hayden,
you like Hayden Christensen, let him know,
more of this.
No, that's fair. You know what, but that I feel like I grouped that with like Clone Wars, like additional Clone Wars stuff. Or Rebels, right? Like here's more animated stuff that if you don't know animated like Star Wars, that's fine. Here's just the shows on that. That's what it feels like.
It's like an extension of it, yeah. I get you.
Yeah.
I do want more. I just don't know where. I feel like I'm stuck on like the.
But I'm also scared of the more because we got Acolyte.
Well, we are not watching that.
Didn't you watch it?
No. I watched clips of it.
Oh, I thought you actually like started for a little bit, then dropped.
Clips. No clips.
Right,
I think I watched one episode and I was like, ugh. But then I watched like clips of it like throughout the season.
See, it's like I want more, but I'm scared to ask for more. I think that's where I'm at. I want more, but I'm scared to ask for more.
My Acolyte reaction was enough for Harrison to be like, let's just keep this at its place.
I grouped that with like the new Star Wars stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I'm excited for, if we're talking more Star Wars, yes, I'm still excited for the new Mandalorian movie. Because,
more Pedro. Pedro back-to-back next May.
It's true. It's true.
You know, it is what it is. But do you have anything else? Any other closing thoughts?
No, I do not. It was good.
It was good. Thanks for actually watching, Harrison.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thanks for the recommendation.
Your
of course.
Sweet time.
It's not that I recommend. It's not me saying that. Hey, we should record on this, and then delaying.
You know. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on all of our socials at NgoVo Convo, at NgoVo Convo. If you're on YouTube, comment down below if you want more Star Wars. What your thoughts were on Andor season 2.
Don't make me watch Acolyte. Swear to God.
No, I'm just kidding. No. Actually, comment down below. We should watch Acolyte. Like this video, subscribe, smash it, smash that button. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.